Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm using a different streaming software, so let me know if you can or can't hear me, because there's a high chance that this is not going to work. I also realized that my thumbnail is the thumbnail from last time, so that's a bit confusing. Let me change that real quick whilst people are shuffling in. Okay, we can... Hello, everyone. Hi. Okay, good. That's nice to see. Oh, and the chat is appearing on the screen. You can see. Hold on. Boop. There we go. So keep it PG-13. You don't need to keep it PG-13. Just don't make it a racist or sexist or any of those things. That's all. That's the rule. Hey, Super Dave. Made it to #1. Hey, Semval. Nice to see you. Hey, Glenn. Welcome in. Twisted Ginger 101. Hello, hello. We can hear you. Good. That's good. That's a good start. That means I've done something right in my life just once. Hey, look. I've officially got windows now. You can see life outside. Hello to any new people lurking around. My name's Chris. I am converting an ex-uHaul box truck into a work living space, and that's where I am right now. That's why it's just wood and metal, pretty much. Sorry I didn't do a stream last week. I was just absolutely exhausted. It has been a very, very, very good month. I'm very happy. But it hit Saturday, and I was just like, man, I just can't. Still had so much stuff to do, so did not happen last week. But I'm back. I missed hanging out with you guys on Saturdays, so glad to be back. And things, I was going to say things are calmer, but they're kind of not. It's kind of just really hectic with work and stuff, so I've been trying to stay on top of that. So yeah, but glad to hang out. Twisted Ginger, the windows do make it look good. Thank you. Oh, all the chat is blocking the little window light. But yeah, it honestly makes like such a difference to the space. It's just like on camera they kind of look pokey and tiny, but it's so hard to describe the difference that they make in like the perceived size in here. It's for my mental health, it's really good. I'm like always have the windows open. So yeah, they are making a big difference here, so I'm very happy with it. And it's just nice to get like natural light as well, fresh air. Senval, how are the windows doing? I hear you on the no stream thing. Been a hell of a week for on-call with several 3 AM calls and 13-hour days. Sometimes you just need to catch up and sleep. Holy crap. Yeah, that's that sounds pretty damn tough, so I definitely do not envy you. But yeah, the windows are great. Very happy with them. They're sticking in. They're not loose, despite the fact that they are just siliconed on, which is pretty funny. I had a lot of strong opinions on the comments on the windows. That was interesting. For those who didn't see, so I'm a little while ahead of the videos that I put out, but last week I put out the video where I got my windows installed, and I got somebody else to do it. And in all fairness, they did an okay job. Like it was okay. I paid money for it. I was happy. The reason why, and I don't think I made this clear in the video, the reason why I paid someone else to do the windows is because I was just like, this is going to take up so much of my time, and I'm trying to run a business, and paying somebody else to do it, even if it's a worse job, was still worth it for me. Even if they were like just crappy as hell, I was just like, this is totally worth it for me. But some people in the comments just one or two, were like, you got ripped off, like, you're an idiot, like, some guy was like, I think you're trolling people with how many bad decisions you're making. And I was just like, no one actually knows how much it cost or anything. So yeah, it's pretty funny. People got livid, and I was just like, look, this is not, if you are like worried about my Windows, this is not the right channel for you. So yeah, it was pretty funny to see people's reactions, pretty strong reactions. But yeah, I'm happy with them. I probably will still secure them fully myself when I get time, but I have zero regrets on paying somebody else to do them, even though I may have been able to do a better job myself. Christopher Walters says, hey Chris from Chris in Wisconsin, WI. Where else could be WI? Wishington. Hi Chris, great name. Senval says, yeah, the install with no bolts made me nervous. I totally get it. I totally get that. The thing is that, like, when you see the amount of fucking silicone and shit that this guy's put on, like, they're absolutely fine. And silicone, you know, has this sort of vibration thing to it. Trust me, like, if they come out in the next 6 to 12 months, I will be gobsmacked. But I will be securing them in myself before then, so they should be fine. Plus, I like, at this moment in time, you know, as you can tell, the truck is parked up in a, I'm gonna say semi-permanent, but like, I'm parked up, hooked up to the grid in the meantime, and I maybe drive my truck twice a week, maybe 3 times a week, depending. So like, they're not going anywhere at the moment. Famous last words. So yeah, but today I was going to talk to you guys about internet, because I also had some comments on my home lab video that I put up. It seems like a lot of people are interested or getting into home labbing and all that sort of stuff. So I wasn't going to like talk about home labbing particularly on this, but I was going to talk about internet, because nomadic internet is just an absolute pain. And I've actually seen a lot of other van lifers that I follow, especially when they're doing like live streams and stuff, just like the live stream is cut off, or, you know, dropped, or whatever it is. Yeah, and nomadic internet is just pretty shoddy. So I'm looking at a new internet provider. So I wanted to show you what I was doing. Let me see. Look at this little transition. Let me see if I can get this to work. Try to get this to work. There we go. Can you see that? Can you see my little screen share, my little spreadsheet with 5 entries on it? Let me get that up. On internet. That is a new word. This is on internet for nomads. So here is what I've been looking at. I basically, for my work, I do a lot of video, which has a lot of just if it was literally any other, if I was a game developer, the data that I use would be like literally so much less. If I was a writer, it would be so much less. If I did pretty much anything other than video, my data would not be this high. But I use approximately 4 terabytes of data a month for what I do, which is great. So I need like unlimited internet, which, trying to get that in a nomadic sense, as in like unlimited internet that, you know, can travel with you, that is the challenge. The first one that everyone on the home lab video was commenting was like, just get Starlink, which I get. I I get it, and it's a consideration. So here's my little breakdown. Starlink at the moment, the upfront costs 175. Cost a month is 165. But it doesn't guarantee that you're going to get great speeds. That's the thing, is that, like, yes, some people do get great speeds from what I've seen, but here's the thing. You're deprioritized compared to their residential. That's a start. And if you are a high data user, they can manually deprioritize you. Which, again, is not the end of the world, but it just means that, like, as soon as I start using it, I feel like my speed is going to go down. Then there's T-Mobile, or T-Mobile. They have this Away Unlimited, which is their little RV one. No upfront costs. It's 160. You're deprioritized, but it's unlimited. So it's approximately the same price. There's Nomad Internet, which is what people were asking. That's what I use. I use Nomad Internet. I'm not going to get into my experience too much, but I've not had a great experience. And when I let them know early on that I have not had a great experience, I was met with an even worse experience, both in actual service and also in price. They changed their prices and just went, "This is our price now." And I was like, well, this is the price that I signed up at. Reason, still don't know to this day why I did it. I think because it was, they were changing their prices. This 1 week that I got it, they were changing their prices every single day. I think they were going through a shuffle. And one day they had such a low price that I was like, of course I'm going to get that, even if it's crap. So I screenshotted it, and I screenshotted that price at the time. And then when they upped their price, they doubled it. I sent them the screenshot, and they were like, no, they literally said, "You're lying. We've never offered it at that price." And I was like, this is ridiculous. So bad experience with them. They're currently offering it at 120 for unlimited. They say that price is locked in. They also, for an extra $10, you get prioritized on their network. There's some other fees as well. So that's their current offering. But I don't think I would like to stay with them. Then, as other people were talking, they were talking about this Calyx. Let me just type it in. Calyx Institute, is it called? I'm not even watching what I'm typing. It's this thing. Can you see that? I don't know whether it's actually coming up on the screen. Yes. Okay, cool. So this is the Calyx Institute. Not the most professional looking website, gonna be honest about it, but I researched this. This is a non-profit. And essentially this non-profit are a pro-consumer privacy or data privacy non-profit. They also, through their membership, offer internet based on, from what I see, is that they got a really good non-profit deal through Sprint years ago, and then as Sprint got like bought out and transferred and all this sort of stuff, the deal is being kept. And they offer this internet service when you become a member. So it's unlimited mobile internet. They've just done a new thing where you can bring your own device, so you can get your own router. Oh shit, basically. So you just get a SIM card. You can use it with any device, or pretty much any compatible device. It costs you $500 per year, and that is using T-Mobile's 5G network. And seems pretty good. So that is, what is it? It works out as $41 a month or something like that. There's no throttling after 30 gigabytes and deprioritization after 100 gigabytes of usage. Don't know what that means in reality, but $40 a month sounds good. The only thing with this is, or the main thing with this is that you're not, when you donate this money, it's a donation to them. You're not paying for the internet. You're paying for a membership, and they just so happen to give you as a bonus this service, which means that at any point they could technically go, nah, or Sprint or whatever, T-Mobile now can go, nah. So there's a risk factor with this. But 500 plus your own equipment, or you can do 750 for the year and have their equipment, which is a pretty good deal. And then it's cheaper. And then it's cheaper after that. So that's an option. That is an option. And then the final one for me is this Connect 10 Wanderlust plan, unlimited with priority, which is 300 up front for equipment and stuff, 120 a month, so technically the same as Nomad Internet, but that's no throttle, no cap, priority data. That is tempting. Don't like the upfront cost, but I think you keep the equipment, so that's fine. And they have very good ratings. I searched them on Google, and they also have, I saw a couple of people who have worked with them, like vanlifers. They have a little like vanlife-y creator application on there. So I did message them to basically be like, hey, how do you do? What do you do it? How do you do it? But my caveat is, if I do ever work with them, I have no idea. My caveat is that I get to be honest about your service. That's the only caveat. Whatever it is, whatever deal it is, as long as I can be honest about it, and you don't have to like check over what I say about it, we're all good. If it's just like, oh, hey, you can use our service, but you can't say anything negative, then I won't do it. Especially after the experience that I've had with Nomad Internet. There's no way that in my right mind, I would ever recommend Nomad Internet through my experience. So yeah, so that is what I'm looking at. But I wanted to hear your guys' opinions, experiences with this sort of internet-y stuff. And if you guys have used like Starlink or had any recommendations, had anything on here that I have not seen or considered, I would be very interested in hearing your guys' opinion. Let me get back onto the chat here. Senval says, well, they use a ton of Seekerflex too, which means that it's going to stay in there really well. I'm just a big fan of over-engineering things, so I would go overkill on my own. That's my anxiety. Don't get me wrong, Senval, I do have anxiety of my Windows. I do. A lot of things on this truck I have anxiety over, so I hear you on that for sure. What internet have you tried to use? Yeah, so it's pretty much just Nomad Internet. I also use on my cell phone, I use Mint Mobile. And they have pretty good hotspot data sort of stuff. That's very fast. So when I have calls with people and I need to have reliable internet, I go over to my hotspot. That's how bad the experience is with the normal internet. I go over to my hotspot because I can rely on that. Even though that's still it's Mint Mobile. It's not like it's, a big company. So yeah, that's my experience so far. Not great. Glenn says, whatever you are using right now seems pretty solid and good video. That's good. It's Nomad Internet, so I'm happy about that. They do seem to be improving in their service. I'll be honest about that. They definitely seem to go through a pretty special shakeup a few months back. That's for sure. And yeah. So we shall see. Adventure with Super Dave says, I'm using Verizon Wireless. How is your experience with that? Is that like a mobile roaming-y kind of thing? Thank you for the super chat, Dave. I appreciate it. Get your business working out with good internet. Yeah, that is definitely. I'm really reliant on internet, and I know that kind of goes to the point of Chris, just get Starlink. That's kind of where my mind goes to. I don't know. It's an install. It's a lot of money. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Just to let you guys know, any super chats or whatever it is, basically anything on this channel, it just all goes to the build. build projects, all that sort of stuff. So it literally all goes to the fun stuff you see in the videos for sure. So don't feel obliged, but they are obviously much appreciated. And this old butte is still getting built out with some interesting stuff going on. Charlie Pepin, hey, says, I'm on Starlink Roam. I work 5 days, 8 hours online, and surf and stream all night, no problems. Average 325 down and 25 to 45 up. That's really good. That's really good. Is that on... Is that... was it an easy install? Yeah, I'd be interested in hearing about the install on that as well. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I feel like I should, but I just don't want to. Hector Quintanilla says, good evening, everyone. Hello, Hector. Soundval, thank you for that info. You would not believe how difficult it is to find real-world data about stability, usage, speeds. Yeah, like that's also the problem with all of this stuff, is that like when it comes to, like, for example, Starlink, is there's an upfront investment period. Like, I'm glad that it's gone down to 175 for the equipment at the moment. It makes it a little bit easier, but like you're kind of locked in. You know what I mean? And that's the problem, is that like I don't want to go, okay, you know, let's say the price goes back up. Okay, I'm going to pay 350 for equipment, then I'm going to pay 160, you know, plus tax per month, and then I get it, and then it's like what I have right now, and then I'm going to be like, well, I kind of have to justify spending 350 on equipment. So it's hard to get that real world data, especially when you're investing in an internet service. So that's also the thing at the back of my mind as well. Simval says, yeah, most of the time it's PR or press release BS. Exactly, and that's exactly why I didn't even put speeds on here. Yeah, and that's why I wanted to put, like, whether it's throttled or deprioritized, because that does have an impact. But you never know. You never know the area that you're in and all that sort of stuff. This is, for me, it's been the thing that sucked the most since the transition into, you know, van life, is the internet situation. Even on days where I've been like, okay, I'm willing to pay whatever just for a day of good internet, there's like, you go into a Starbucks and the download speed is just terrible. Even when you like buy a coffee or whatever, you're sitting there, there's no way of getting just like ad hoc really good internet. There's one sushi place that's like a little drive from me that for absolutely no reason has like ridiculous internet. But it's a sushi place, so you have to go in and you got to get something, so you're basically spending like $30 on a day's worth of internet. Not that I haven't done that. I just don't want to do it all the time. So yeah, it's an interesting time. Oh, let me get that back up again. Let me get the main thing back on. Let me know how the stream is in terms of like Streamlabs. I'm using Streamlabs right now. It seems way simpler, and it's also got those fancy like alerts that pop up, and the chat box as well, which doesn't seem to be working right now actually. So yeah, let me know whether it's working okay or not. It's way simpler than OBS, which is what I was using before. Let me see. Super Dave says Starlink is for out where there is no service, but you can use T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, Mint Mobile in the city. You're good. Yeah, and that's the reason why I haven't really rushed into Starlink. I will, you know, at some point. I know that I've been basically, you know, half a year just routed to Houston, but I will want to travel at some point. I will want to get out, so it's something to think about. But yeah, it's just sort of time and figuring it all out. Carl says, hola Carl, welcome in, good to see you. Witty's Gear Reviews, hello, a fellow Houstonian. Charlie Pepin says, no install, you set the dish on the roof pole or on the ground, run the cable from the ground to the included router that gets plugged into the power and to a computer, wireless or wired. That's, I guess I didn't really think of it that way. that you don't technically have to do an install, especially I guess for me, because I'm not really moving around that much at the moment. That's a good point. Just stick it on my bonnet. That's a good point. Okay. Carl says, I like my 5G Verizon home router 160 gigabytes per second download and 50 upload. 160 gigabytes per second? Or megabytes per second? Stefan 7020 says Starlink provides you internet everywhere. Yeah, that's also true. It is global. I guess that is the good thing. I guess. I mean, not that I'm going to be driving over the border anytime soon. 160 meg, my bad. Yeah, I was like, if you're getting 160 gig, no matter what that price is, I want it. Sembel says, how much sky does your spot get? Something you need to take into account with Starlink is the amount of viewable sky. A lot. That's the one thing, is that the spot that I'm in, because obviously I've got solar, I made sure that, I mean, technically there is, you can't see it now, but there is a tree next to me, but, you know, I get a lot of sky because I still use, I would say 80 to 90% of my electricity is solar. So that's, you know, and obviously that needs the sun. So that's what I've been doing. Funny thing with the electricity situation. Here's what's happened to me that won't be in a video or anything. But so for those of you who are tuning in, I'm converting an RV. I'm converting a box truck into an RV work living space, but I am currently parked up at an RV park. So I have myself hooked up to the electricity, but I have the breaker switched off for 99% of the time. It's only on a really cloudy day that I like flip it on for a little bit just to top up. Anyway, so I now know pretty much exactly how much electricity I'm using, because I have my power thing there. I know how much comes in. I get to see it all the time. I pass that little power thing constantly. So I get an electricity bill from the RV park. I already put down a deposit, which I was like, it was like $100 deposit. And in my head, I was like, it's going to take me a while to get through this $100. So I get a bill from the RV park for $400. And I was like, and then I checked the invoice for it, and it was like 2,250 kilowatts of electricity, right? And I was just like, no, that is not a thing. That's not a thing. I'm sorry, but that is not a thing. So it says that on the invoice, but it also says 153 kilowatts. And I was like, that sounds a little better, but it still sounds a little bit high. Anyway, so I spoke to the owner and I was like, hey, just to let you know, this is incorrect. And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Let me amend it. So he took off the 153 and just left it with the $400. And I was like, no, you don't understand. I did not. There's a 0% chance that I use that much electricity. I would be surprised if the entire park uses that electricity. So I don't want to be rude, but there is no way that I've used that much electricity. I will pay it. I'm going to pay it because this is a bill and I will get it sorted out. However, I would like a refund when we figure out exactly where the problem is and why the meter is wrong, basically. And he was like, no, don't pay. Anyway, long story short, I now know where the meters are and I'm checking it. Even when I'm not connected, the meter is just running. It's just running 24/7. So I've just been filming it and I've been logging. I literally have in my book, my little book that I have, I've been logging every time I turn on the grid, and I log how much the meter is at, how much solar is coming in, how much my battery's at. I now know to the watt how much electricity I'm using. And I'll tell you what, I haven't even got out my $100 deposit. I haven't even gotten a quarter of my deposit. So there's no way that I have run up a $400 electricity bill. I'm not running crack labs or meth labs like Super Davis. So yeah, so the owner now realizes it because I clearly know my numbers and know exactly how much electricity I'm using. So he's like, okay, sorry, I think it's the clubhouse, where they have like showers and stuff like that. I think that is running off my meter, and that's why it's just constantly going up, because they're using AC and lights and, you know, washer, dryer, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, funny, because I was just like, $400. Like, are you insane? Like, I could use. I don't even know how I would use that much electricity. I just don't know how I would use it. Even in an apartment or a house, it was just insane. So yeah, it made me laugh. Let me go back to chat. It works, just fades after a bit. I'm not sure what that is. The way I've heard of it, if you're good for solar, then Starlink should be fine too. Yeah, exactly. That totally makes sense. If you can get solar power, you can get you can see the satellites from the truck. GOT reactions, got reactions. Hello, yo yo yo. Super Dave, I want a T1. I want a T1 line in the box for me. It's just not connected to anything. T1 line. What am I missing on that? T1 line. I'm not sure what that means, but that's definitely a me thing. Got reactions. Do they meter and charge you for electric? Yeah, they do. So if you're doing the monthly, then yes, they charge for the electricity. But like I said, I barely use it. It's literally like on a rainy day, and my battery dips down to like 70. I get power anxiety and flip the breaker, and then it goes back up. I have it on like quite a slow charge because my inverter's cheap as hell, and I'm trying to make sure I don't break it again. So it caps off at 600 watts in. So that's my like safe zone. So yeah, I just flip the breaker on for a couple of hours, and then it goes back up to 100, and then I flip it off. So I just barely use any electricity from the grid. It's pretty hilarious. E-bike van life, what's up, box truck gang? Hey, e-bike van life, good to see you. Hold up 1 second. E-bike van life, is that Super Dave says, what's up, Sauron Dave? E-bike van life, is that Sauron? Are you Sauron Dave? Is that the two people connected? That is now, that's blowing my mind a little bit. That's blowing my mind a little bit. Okay, if that is true, oh my god, that makes so much sense. Okay, Sauron Dave, nice to put a name to a name. So Sauron Dave, sorry, this is like inside baseball, I guess. Sauron Dave, I had just heard of from Nomad Brad's channel, and then in the box truck to RV conversion Facebook group, I saw him popped up as Sauron Dave. And okay, now it's clicking in my head. So Sauron Dave put his inverter horizontally, and I asked him, and I was like, hey, how, does it work okay and all that sort of stuff? And he was like, yeah, it's all good. So that's why Sauron Dave is the reason why I put my inverter this way, because I was like, well, if Sauron Dave's doing it, he seems to know what the fuck he's doing. I guess I'll do it. And no fires yet. So, pretty good. So that is good to know. That is good to know, that you are the Sauron Dave. Okay, cool. Wow. Did you see my two brain cells like fused together in that moment? my two aliases have been compromised. Oh no. Oh shit. We outed him. We dead named Sauron Dave. Whoopsie. Are you not watching his vids? Hold on, he's got videos as well? Sauron Dave's got video? Well, I am just... my mind is blown. The internet is a small place. I mean, I guess that's still not your real name. It's not your government name, I guess. Unless your parents were absolutely incredible people. That's also that's also potentially something. Okay, sorry about that, guys. That's the most that's the most inside baseball thing I think I've ever experienced. T1 is so outdated compared to fiber. Okay, so T1 is, I guess, cable? I don't know. Got reactions. Way to dox yourself. Oh man, I feel like we've just messed up Sauron Dave's life here. He's gonna get a knock on the door from a bunch of people that he doesn't want to get a knock up from. Got reactions. Isn't T1 a form of DSL? Yeah. Don't know. Super Dave's the guy to know. Sorry, that really made me laugh. Soren Dave says, "Yo, I remember that. I didn't know that was you commenting at the time." Yeah, no, I know. we're two anonymous people commenting to each other, and now we've just realised our aliases. I guess that's hilarious. That is hilarious. What's the odds, Soren Dave? What's the odds that we just have met in some other capacity too, by accident? We didn't even realise it. I'm building my second box truck now. I built my first U-Haul truck because of Brad. I'm also from West Houston. This is where I'm going to get a knock, and it's going to be like, Sauron Dave, you owe me money somehow. You owe me $400. He's the debt collector. That's good to know. Okay, Sauron Dave, you need to put more videos up. I need to subscribe to you. I'm going to forget. If I don't subscribe to you right now, I'm going to forget. Thumbnail. I need to subscribe to you. Let me stop myself from talking on my... Hold on. I'm so sorry. I'm actually going to subscribe to Dave right now. With the hope... Okay, everyone... Fucking hell. Okay, now I'm subscribed. Everyone, go and subscribe to @ebikevanlife on YouTube immediately. There are videos there. I'm looking right now. Let's get it up. Let's get it up on the old stream here. Let's get on the live stream and let's see what we've got here. There we go. There it is. This is Sauron Dave. Wow, you got a face as well. That's crazy. Who'd have thunk it? Okay, I'm not going to watch them right now. But I am definitely going to be watching some of these build videos because I need to learn more. Okay, cool. Awesome. That is nice to know. Good to see. That's hilarious. Wow. What a small / huge world. How's your experience been, Dave, with building out? How was the second build compared to the first build? I would be very interested in knowing that. I always have at the back of my mind that I would consider a second build at some point and just make better decisions. Especially now that I've got the first one in a shape. Not the best shape, but a shape. Oh, there's a fucking mosquito. The only thing with Houston is these bloody mosquitoes. It's terrible. If anyone's lurking who hasn't said hello, drop by, tell us where you're from, tell us what everyone's up to tonight. I want to hear what everyone's doing tonight whilst hanging out. What is Saturday night for other van lifers / potential van lifers / internet peeps? My night tonight was, before the stream, I had sushi that I did not make myself, definitely. I had sushi. I listened to the most obscure power metal song from 1987 that even metalheads that I know don't know of. I listened to that one single song. And then I got myself a new toy. This is not connected to van life and whatsoever, but I got myself a little musical toy, which is a little tiny. It's the coolest thing, and I don't think anyone's going to care about this. But this, let me get it up on big. This is called a Woov box, and it is a tiny little music making machine. I love making music, and I haven't done it, and I've been trying to do more hobbies just to give myself some headspace. So I haven't made music in years. So I got this, and you make music with it. You do the little notes on here. You can sequence. You can do drums. You can do all sorts of stuff. Just plug headphones in there. Look, it's tiny. It's tiny. And I made some music on this tonight. I was just playing around and just had a little chill little afternoon and night. Because it's been a hell of a month. So I have to force myself to relax. So yeah, I would definitely be interested in hearing what other people do to relax. Give me some ideas on how to relax a little bit, because I need some excuse to just switch my brain off. I really do. This helps. Doing streams is like, it's like you guys are like cheap therapy for me. I get to decompress. Sorry, I got distracted. Let me get back to chat. Where are we up to? Okay. Talk about T1 cable. Got reaction says, "Lol, y'all are in the same video editing community. Never knew it." Yeah, that is it is a small world. That's hilarious. I love it though. I do love it, and that's it. That's the thing that I like. I guess I didn't really think about when I started the YouTube channel was about the community aspect of it. And, you know, I've spoken to a bunch of people. Actually, that was kind of a question that I was going to ask you guys. Put it out to the chat. Is because I have been speaking to some van lifey people just in general, and everyone's been just so kind and, like, you know, welcoming and, you know, stuff like that. But I was thinking of doing some like chats, like maybe not live chat. I don't know how it would work, but like not interviews either, because I'm not an interviewer, but like a live chat with other van lifers, like experienced ones, other like vehicle dwellers, whatever it is. I thought that'd be quite interesting, because it would help me learn a little bit, but I don't know whether that would be interesting to people to sort of have, like, I don't know, live chats, shared experiences, whether that would be something that you guys would be interested in seeing, or if that's just a dumb idea and it just needs to be put on the hell no pile. But yeah, I've been speaking to a bunch of, you know, van lifey people and stuff, and everyone's just so nice. And it's quite rare for like just one group of people just to be so like chill and welcoming. So yeah, that's very nice to experience. Yeah, I am so behind on chat. Okay. Second, Sauron Dave says, the second build has been totally different. I've learned a lot. I was able to build a U-Haul in my 4,000 square foot shop. 4,000 square foot shop. That is a hell of a shop. The Kodiak I'm building on the road in Southern California. Polar opposites. Damn. Super Dave says, I'm exposing Sauron Dave real identity. Got reactions. I finally got started on my home lab. Okay, that's what you've been up to tonight. So frustrating. I did get Proxmox installed just a few minutes ago. My home lab has been a hell of an experience, but it has pushed my brain in very different ways. Home labbing is another way to keep my brain busy, without losing my mind. So, Carl says I have a load of Gibson guitars, taking them to a freight forwarder going to Japan. Oh my god! Damn, Gibsons as well. I love Gibsons. Soren Dave says, funny thing is, my OG nickname is Super Dave. And it was the old name of my YouTube channel. Oh my god. I think Super Dave has split himself in two. He's like, it's like a horror, like a David Cronenberg movie. He's just like split himself into two, and it has become two separate people. And at some point, we're going to have to find out who the real one is, and we're going to have to kill the other one. That's science fiction. I'm sorry, like that is the rule. At some point we're gonna have to prepare for this situation. Jonathan Romes, what's up, the Simple Box? Hello, Jonathan Romes. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping by. Chris Cates, hello from sweaty, stormy Central Florida. Sweaty, stormy Houston says, hey, what's up? Jonathan Romes, thank you so much for the super chat. That's very, very kind. For the build, keep it going. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Every dollar from this channel goes towards the build, goes towards making it cool, and safer. I may invest in some safety stuff as well. It's but thank you, Jonathan. That means a lot. I appreciate it. Chris Kate said, "What was the song?" Oh, okay. The song I was listening to is by an old German power metal band called Scanner, and the song is Across the Universe. It came up on my Spotify one time, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I don't know anyone that has ever heard of Scanner. I've never heard of Scanner. But it is like sci-fi power metal, and it is just incredible. So yeah, take a listen. Scanner, Across the Universe. Carl says an entire 53-foot trailer of Gibson acoustic guitars only weighs pretty much 7,000 pounds. Whoop. Damn. Soren Dave says, go to Terry Hershey Park and take a walk. It's super nice there. Plenty of spots to park. Interesting. I will put that on my list. Glenn's working on his Home Assistant setup tonight. Greenacres Bloom has been working on clearing the fence rows around my dad's yard. That will clear your head. That will clear your head. That's for sure. Hector Quintanilla. Jonathan saw the video the other day. Don't know what that is. Oh, he's sorry, talking to Jonathan. Okay. Nero says, Chris, what are you going to do for wall finishing / decor? I refuse to believe you're content to plywood your way through until the end of time. You're correct. Correct in that assumption, despite how it may look. What was it? I mean, look at this. They're not even the same types of plywood. Even though, here's a little fun fact, is that whenever you see 1/4-inch plywood, it's 50% of it is 1/4-inch plywood. The other 50% is underlayment, which has a nicer finish on it, but it is thinner. So I think the dark one is actual plywood, and the other stuff is underlayment, which I got from Lowe's. It just has a nicer finish to it, but I couldn't get it at some point, so I just went, sod it, I'm just going to use whatever I can. I still haven't decided. I'm holding off on that. I've got my list of things that I'm going to do left on the truck, that I've written out. The buildy stuff that I have to do, like, when I say that, I just mean like woodworky stuff that I have to do that is going to cause dust and shit around, is my grandma's attic. I need to get that covered because I hate seeing junk up there. So that's one thing. Kitchen area. Oof. Which is my drawers and my lower cabinet. That is next to be done. The backing of my upper cabinets, they're just insulation. So I need to get plywood back there. My AC unit, I need to put like a trim around there. My shower and my flooring. They're the main things that I need to do that involve like planning and hard work and all that sort of stuff. Once I get those done, that is when I'm gonna, probably just in a whole weekend, I'm gonna decorate this whole thing. I think after speaking with you guys a couple of weeks back when we were talking about wall coverings, I think I'm gonna get that vinyl stuff. What's the word? You know what I'm talking about because you guys suggested it. The vinyl covering. I think I'm gonna get that sort of stuff. The stuff that's waterproof. Or that's humidity proof. I'm probably going to do that. I'm going to fill in all the little holes and stuff like that. Cover the walls in something that is... It's going to be pretty plainish, I think. It's going to be plain and light. I don't want to live in a dark box, so it's probably just going to be like grey, maybe something textured. And I will get trim to cover up all of the absolutely horrendous gaps that are around. Oh yeah, I forgot. I've got a video on that coming up. The little white thing. So yeah, I'm gonna get some trim as well. But something plain-ish and light, because it needs to be light in here, because otherwise it's so depressing. I actually finished off my other lights. So I now have it gets way brighter in here now. That's really not coming out on camera at all. It's with 2 extra lights, it's way brighter than it was before, so I'm pretty happy with that. Yes, where are we? So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do with decor. Soren Dave says, yes, Nomad chat would be cool. Cool. I would definitely be interested in it, mainly just for me to chat with people. Hector Quintanilla says, Brad did the poly for the interior. Oh, okay. Senval thinks it's a good idea to have Nomad chat. Got Reactions says, think I'm going to send you an email. Okay. Chris Cates, you get what you give. People are nice to nice people. Yeah, I like to think so. It's not always the way, but got to try and be nice as best we can. Try and give more than we get. For sure, I definitely believe in that. Carl says, in 10 days I drove from Chicago to St. Louis to Seattle. My brain would be fried. Jonathan Rome says, Horcrux, some Harry Potter stuff. Oh, with the Super Dave stuff. Senval, 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. Exactly. Got Reactions. I love metal, but not so much in the thrash territory. I would never call myself a metalhead by any means, but I listen to a wide range of music. But I like some metal. Wombat74, hey, the decorating style is plywood chic, so hot right now. The word chic is definitely giving it way more credit. It's just plywood. That's the style. Style is plywood. Charlie Pepin says, I like the look of burnt plywood when it's done right. I mean, this looks like a patchwork quilt right now. Carefree Highway, marine vinyl, that's the one. I was going to say nautical vinyl. It's definitely not nautical vinyl. Marine vinyl was what I was thinking of. Super Dave says, back to the power problem. You can probably get a generator and repower up for less than the electric bill will run you the rent. Look for a good internet location. Oh, for the power situation, I'll be honest. For me, I am almost certain that probably the last thing I will do on this truck before I actually hit the road at some point. I think. Imagine me with generators. Kidding me? Burned everyone his YouTube video. I'm gonna get like a diesel heater. To be honest, I'd consider. I definitely do. I can see it catching up. Give it 1 second. I've just changed my internet, so this should be working right now. There we go. Okay, sorry about that, guys. That was a weird freeze frame. That was a weird freeze frame. I don't know what got lost, but I think I was talking about the idea of having a generator and probably ending up dying because I had I misused a generator. Let me know if the stream is back to normal again. I've just swapped over. I told you about the internet. It's like when it works, it's absolutely great, but then it will just go no, and then it will just randomly for 2 hours just not work. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so Jonathan Romes, how many videos do you have on queue to be released? Curious to see how I am failing. How many videos? Oh, as in like how many videos do I have unreleased? I don't have any. Literally, I edit and then upload, and then it's like it's done. Like it just released then, which is why I'm so inconsistent. 99% of the time, I've got, I don't know, maybe 10 videos in the pipeline that I haven't edited, that I've just got the footage of. What I do is I just film a bunch, I download it into like a folder, and then I just leave, like I just leave it there until I'm ready to edit, and then I'm like, is this a video? No, it's like some videos I've just looked at and just been like, there's nothing happening in this video. I just filmed it and then I'll dump it. So I actually dump quite a few videos, more than you realize, despite how it may look on my channel. So yeah, I usually have about 5 at any point. I've not filmed that much since I've been parked up. My work is I know I just mention it all the time, but like I run my own business, and it's not a 24-hour job, obviously, but I work. I'm always working in some point. Like I was just like answering emails just before I jumped on stream and stuff like that. So just I had to park up and just focus on that. But it's been a very good year. I'm very happy with how it's gone. I'm just trying to figure out how to make it a little less taxing on me at the moment. Yeah. Oh, let me plug in, because that may be affecting the internet signal as well. There we go. Okay, let me get back to chat. Carl says, put up a portrait of Elvis and go purple velvet on the walls. Ugh. In a white van? Literally the creepiest thing I could possibly do. Senval says, you're building a great community and following on this channel. It's refreshing to see non-toxic internet interactions. Thank you. Yeah, it's surprisingly, not surprisingly, that's rude. It is, I have been happy to see very positive, inclusive, nice, chill people like yourselves. And I appreciate every single one of you, because there is a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, and we need a bit more positivity, I think. I am for I am. Howdy y'all from San Antonio, Texas. Howdy doody. Oh, and then all the chats from when my video just went nutso. I'm glad that it's fixed. But yeah, that was a hell of a pause screen. Hell of a pause screen there. Got reactions. I'm about 5 hours north of you. Jonathan Rome says hashtag data limit. Okay, good to know that the internet is back. Hence why I need better internet. Got reactions. I need to start shopping those Wi-Fi routers that take a SIM for internet. Oh yeah, that was one thing I was going to say to you guys is... Let me get back onto my little thingy again. And let me get back onto finding my spreadsheet. Free advertisement for Sauron Dave here. Everyone go subscribe at eBike Vanlife. Do it. Yeah, so here's... Oh yeah, that was one thing I was going to say is... This is something that I also take into account. I'm not going to jump into politics at all right now, but it's... I'm trying to live a bit more deliberately, and that includes paying attention to who I'm giving my money to in general. I'm trying to live a little bit more aligned with my values, and that includes what companies are donating and lobbying. That is now included. It's not dictating, but it's included in my decisions. So I'm also looking at, if you go to opensecrets.org, they will tell you who lobbies the government on what issues and who donates to different political parties as well. You'd be surprised what you find out. But if that's important to you, then go to opensecrets.org and you can take a little look. That is something that I take a bit of interest in. So that is also taken into account. I actually wrote down on here who donates to who and lobbies at what, and then I was like, no, I think that's going to cause more stress than we need to. So I deleted it all, but it's something to look into. But also the Calyx Institute is something that aligns with my values, because it is focused on data privacy and consumer protection for the little guy. So that is something that is influencing my potential decision as well. So there you go. But what I wanted to say, if anyone's left in chat, is I looked at the internet for nomads and RVers and stuff at this YouTube channel, at Mobile Internet Resource Center. They, from what it seems, are independent and have actually really comprehensive reviews for loads, like every single internet option, for RVers, for van lifers, for vehicle dwellers, for boaties, yachties, whatever you want to call them, everything. So I would definitely recommend their channel for getting up-to-date information on van life, internet kind of shenanigans. So there you go. Let me go back to this boop. Yeah, that transition, it's part of Streamlab. So yeah, I tried to set it up so that it looked a little bit more professional than just my phone. Refreshing to the job. I am. What you saved in rent, you built an asset. You have essentially 2x your money. Yeah, that is also true. That is also true. That's the good thing about this is that, like, another thing that I am being a bit more conscious of is the idea of just paying money for rent. I understand that landlords exist, but my God, the amount of price fixing that is slowly being uncovered. This sounds like a conspiracy theory, but I mean, there's news articles about individual cities where, like, groups of apartment buildings, for example, price fix the rent and do it through this digital system that allows them to kind of legally do it, to be, like, competitive, in order to keep the rent prices high, which sucks. It just sucks. So I'm trying to be a bit more conscious about stuff like that, and part of it is, yeah, like, investing that money in this solution, which you know, will last me as long as I want, as long as I can maintain it and stuff, and it's not going into some rando's pocket that is artificially inflating prices because they found a loophole in the law. That I don't like, because again, it ends up screwing the little guy. So that is also something that I'm trying to be more conscious of, really. And I feel like a lot of van lifers are sort of conscious of that as well. You know, I'm not, if someone wants to pay rent or wants to pay a mortgage and it's good for them, that's awesome. Like, you know, as an individual decision. But, you know, rent prices are high, and this is my way of taking back a bit of control, I guess. Definitely trying to not drift into politics there. How's the countertop coming along? Super Dave says, is that for me? Are you talking about the countertop, my desk countertop? Or is that for someone else? Jonathan Rome. So, okay. I am. Nice, you're voting with your wallet. Yeah. Because I can't vote. I can't vote in the political system. That's not yet, at least. Got reactions. Good stuff, Chris. The only thing we can do, really. I am, by the way. I like your mini server backup. Thank you. Yeah, I'm super happy with the mini server backup. That again was also part of. Actually, I'm gonna sound like such a hippie right now, but that again was, as I saw. I promise I'm not gonna make this into any sort of like preachy thing, but when I saw the amount of subscriptions and stuff, and it's not just about money. Like, at the end of the day, I don't mind paying for shit, right? I want to be clear about that. But the whole idea of, like, cable moving to streaming was originally that, like, hey, we can cut the cord and we can get more for less. Yay, you know, like, the consumers win. And, you know, with all of the internet stuff, like, consumers had such a sweet, like, 5 to 10 years for a bit, and it was awesome. And then all of the companies were like, oh shit, we're not making as much money. So then now there's a million streaming services. They're all terrible. They're all, like, piecemealed out. And if you want to get what you got on cable, you know, over a decade ago, you're going to pay $200 a month. It's absolutely insane. So I was just like, part of my server setup, I was like, the stuff that I own, I'm going to put it on there. And it means that I don't have to pay someone $10 a month to listen to the music that I already have. Like, so again, this is a lot of this is just taking back control a little bit where I can. And it just happens to save money as well. So win-win. Soren Dave just finished the U-Haul build series and released the first episode on the Kodiak build. Everyone should check out Soren Dave's channel. That's what I'm going to be doing after the stream for sure. Got reactions. I'm working on digital sovereignty. The reason for the home lab stuff. I guess, is that what I'm saying? I don't know what digital sovereignty is. But it sounds like maybe that's a term for what I'm trying to say. But yeah, just getting a little bit of, I mean, like I said to you at the start of the stream, like I use approximately 4 terabytes of data for like uploading and downloading videos and stuff. When you put that into like Google Drive, Dropbox storage, and all that sort of stuff, like it adds up. It really adds up. Just to have somebody else, have a little computer with a hard drive on it. I was just like, why am I doing this? I'm just wasting my money right now. Plus, it's probably going to be used to train AI in some way, as well. Like, you should be paying me for that. So yeah. Wombat says, I think I just realized something. Chris is British. He lives in a box. We just saw him bouncing around time. I think Chris is Doctor Who. Yes. Jonathan Rome's, they're independent and they've been focused on RV internet from the start for about 6 or 7 years ago. Great folks. Okay, that's the YouTube channel. That's good to know. Got reactions. It's bigger on the inside. I am for I am. I know them. They have a spot at a co-op ownership RV park. Oh, interesting. They are good people with great nomad reviews and solutions. They definitely seem like a good folk. So it's nice to know that people have interacted with them and they are good folk. They definitely seem very pro-consumer, which is good. Ever heard of Rob Braxman? I have not. Who is Rob Braxman and what does Rob Braxman do? Senbel says, you want to cover religion next? Great way to find out opinions if you're fishing for them. The funny thing about religion is... No, I'm joking. Yeah. I think everyone is political deep down. If you have values, then you are political. You may not vote. You may not even like any of the party options. But I think everyone's political deep down. And we should talk about it in lighter ways more, I believe. I'm not going to talk about it more for the rest of the stream, don't worry. So watch the viewers just go, pew. Green Acres Blue. My son has been a digital nomad living in a travel trailer for the past 5 years. The savings from living that way have allowed him to build a business. That's awesome. I love to hear that. That makes me happy. Makes me very happy to hear that. Good for him. And I love to see, those success stories as well. I definitely think that, for me, I've been building my business for maybe, I think this particular business, I'm like 3 years, 2 years. Moving into the truck, I mean, it wasn't essential, but it wasn't like purely financial decision, but it definitely helps. That's for sure. That is for sure. Plus being able to, I think for me, it's the independence, like being able to, if I want to, go work anywhere. That for me is super important. That's also part of the reason why I did the business in the way that I've done it, is so that I can have that opportunity. I've lived in, to be like a bit more sort of personal with you guys, is I've been living in Texas for a while. and I don't really know much outside of it in the States. You know, I've done a little bit, but yeah, I don't know whether this is the place that I'd want to stay forever. But I also don't want to, you know, move to Idaho and pay 12 months or buy a house there or whatever and then go, wow, I hate it here. So this gives a good transition period of like, where's good? Where's good in the States? Houston's good. Texas is good. Where else is good is maybe a better way of putting it. Maybe Idaho's it. Maybe it's not. Who knows? Got reactions. Used media is going up in price like DVDs, games, and music. Got reactions. What you're saying, you own it, you control it, you decide on your own data. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a lot of what I'm sort of doing is it's like a sort of more of a self-sufficiency, I guess, is it. I definitely value self-sufficiency more. Not being as reliant on others, especially when it comes to like businesses and subscriptions and stuff like that. Not being as reliant on that. Not that they're bad, but it's better to be self-sufficient. It's very American to be self-sufficient, to encourage self-sufficiency. I think that's what Will Prowse talks about that, I think, a lot. The solar guy. Carefree Highway. Braxman speaks on data privacy. Business is de-Googled phones. Interesting. Maybe Rob Braxman. Do not recognize him, but I will. I'll check him out. Okay, interesting. Thank you. Green Acres Blue. My son also loves the freedom to travel. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that like it's a lot of people's dream as well. I think that's something that I've noticed as well, is that like a lot of people really want that have that dream of like, you know, traveling. You know, when you think of like when people have plans to retire, what's the first thing they want to do? They want to go on a fucking cruise. Pretty much. So, you know, they're like, okay, I want to cruise, I want to go here, I want to do this, I want to do this. So it's kind of like the dream thing. So being able to do it whilst also working as well, you know, to earn that money as well as being able to enjoy life a little bit as well, experience things, is definitely the dream. And I've had a few comments on the channel from people who seem to also want that, but get annoyed that I'm doing it. I had one or two comments that were like, dude, like, no one can afford to do what you're doing. Like, I can't, like, they were just like, I can't believe you're complaining. Cause it was like my storm video. And I was just like, wow, I can't change society. I can't make it more affordable for people, but I get that people want to do it. And punish me for it. But yeah, I think it's the dream for a lot of people, is just having a bit more freedom and being able to work and then be right next to a nice lake or a nice park, right? It's awesome. I'm really happy to see people and hear people are getting to experience that. So happy for your son, Green Acres Bloom. That really makes me happy. Jonathan Rome says, Idaho, lol. I've never been to Idaho. I hear it's up and coming. No? Des Moines? That's Idaho, right? I hear that's a booming city. E-bike van life. I'll have to say you're missing out. Hit I-10 West until you hit the coast. Super Dave, most of the nomad gatherings are in Arizona, Oregon, Washington State, and being out of southeast Georgia. That is a lot of driving. Yeah, there's no like nomad-y. There's few nomad-y people here, especially in Houston. I think Techno Barbarian is in Houston. And that's all I can think of in terms of like YouTubers. I'm sure there's plenty without. Not every van lifer has a YouTube channel, despite how it may seem, I think. Yeah. Having lived the Gulf Coast my entire life, Houston sucks. I am for Chris. When you get a chance, the first place you should visit is Houston. You know what? That sounds like a good idea, actually. I've not seen enough of Houston. That is for sure. I'm sure I actually need to look for some interesting places in Houston. We've got isn't it like Sam Houston National Park near me? Well, in Houston, I guess. Maybe I should do a video on that. I don't know what it's like. Jonathan Romes, I lived in Austin for 13 years. Houston and Austin, humidity is for other people, not me. I lived in Austin for a little bit. I found it drier in Austin quite significantly. So I'm not that bothered about the Austin heat. I could handle that. It's just the humidity here. I just always have a sheen on me. Soren Dave says, bro, I did my time. I'm so done with humidity and cold winters. Will Ty, are you able to write off... hey, Will, by the way. Are you able to write off any box truck living and business expenses on your taxes, such as internet, vehicle expenses, etc.? That's a good question. I'll have to figure that out. Well, this channel is monetized. So it is a business. I'm going to have to speak to a tax guy and figure that out. Interesting. Internet would be an expense for me anyway. So, you know, a lot of what I do is creative. So, you know, my computer and keyboard and microphone, mouse, all that sort of stuff. So a lot of the stuff that I buy is tax deductible, fortunately. But maybe that just increased. I'll have to find someone who agrees with that. Good call. Thank you. Green Acres Bloom, working for himself and traveling requires a lot of self-discipline and motivation to get work done, though. Yes, I can totally understand that. I think that sort of, for me, and maybe this is what your son's experiencing, that freedom of like self-employment, running your own business and stuff does come at a cost, in some way. Like, it's kind of like you get the technical, like, untapped finances, you know, because a business, you're not trading your time for money. So there's the potential to make more money than, you know, just a 9 to 5. But then it also means that you don't really ever switch off. That's definitely what I experience. So what do they say? You trade a 9 to 5 for a 24/7. That definitely rings true with me. And when you're given all of that freedom, it definitely is going to require some self-discipline to make sure you don't take that extra day trip when you've got to keep an eye on your business. What does your son's business do? What is, if you don't mind me asking? But good for him. I'm glad that he gets to do it. That's awesome. Surren Dave, Techno Barbarian is a carpet walker though. What's a carpet walker? Is that a van life? Is that a van life slur? Is that what that is? Is that an inside slur? I don't know what carpet walker is. Got reactions. That kinda is what's holding me back. Where do I go after I was in the box? Yeah, I mean, there's a bit too much freedom. I mean, I have no idea where when I'm like, oh, if I want to take a trip, where would I go? And then I go, well, there's too many options. I'm just going to stay in Houston. Got reactions. Got reaction. I think. Oh, hey, Will, by the way. I would think with your channel and business, but you could write off tons. Yeah, probably. I had the idea that if you could start a faceless YouTube channel for the tax benefit alone, if it gets views, cool. Yeah. I think if you don't make money from something for 2 years, then it's classified as a hobby. So you'd have to make some money at some point. But for 2 years, you could have a really shitty business and write off a lot of stuff. This is not financial advice. Please contact a financial advisor for trusted advice. I'm not a professional. I do not sell financial advice services. Disclaimer running across the screen. Soren Dave says, in Texas, your vehicle is an extension of your home. You'll be able to write off a ton. I was able to with my online business. Dave, we need to talk. Super Dave, is there a reason you're staying in Houston area of your business as an e-commerce rated? Yeah, there's a bunch of reasons, to be honest. Like, some personal, some business. I've just got a lot going on. I'm not trying to be. I kind of hate it when YouTubers are like, oh well, I don't really want to reveal to you guys. But it's kind of partly what I'm doing. But yeah, it's the main reason is just I'm really busy. I'm just really busy. I would love to. I still haven't had an actual day off in. That's a lie. I've had 2 days off in the past 3 years, and both of those days off, I was still emailing, and this isn't to be like a woe is me, but like I struggle with time off in general. So the idea of like, if I travel somewhere, like right now, if I would like, okay, I'm gonna go to a little RV park at a lake or whatever it is, I would just go there and do exactly what I'm doing day in, day out anyway. I think I probably wouldn't even give myself a walk like right now. So that's the main reason. But I'm getting ready to force myself to do it. To have proper time off, hence goofy hobby shit. And travel. The only reason, like right now, I wouldn't travel from Houston is that fall time is the only time when Houston is like actually bearable and quite nice to be in. So I definitely won't be traveling like during fall time. We'll see how bad the winter gets, but yeah, it's mainly just I'm just really busy right now. Let's see. I am Chris. What is your backup? Do you still store data in the cloud? It is important to have contingency plans and not store your data at one location. Yeah, in my video I did make it clear my backup disks are not stored on site. They're stored in my storage. So I back up my data from my home lab and from my NAS. I back up the data onto hard disks and then store those hard disks elsewhere. I also still do have cloud backup at the moment, but I am reducing that slowly. Yeah. if that answers your question. Soren Dave, yes, I have a tax guy that takes care of me. And I need his name or her name. Jonathan Romes, you can write off more than you think. Get with a good tax guy. They know. Good to know. I saw there's a YouTuber that I follow. Like a video game YouTuber. RGT85, I think is his name. He just does video game stuff. But I watched a video with him a few months ago, and he was like, he bought himself like a little games console, and he was like, I have to make a video on it because I want to write it off of my taxes. And it was like a $500 video game console, and he was like, I'm gonna make a video on it so you guys like deal with it. I'm gonna do a video on it because I want to write it off on my taxes. If I don't make a video on it, then I can't classify it as an expense. So yeah, I definitely get that there's probably some flexibility in it. So that's good to know. Super Dave, Soren Dave, give your guy Chris's name and number for him to call. Yeah, my email is on my channel page. If you do want to send me an email for anything. Green Acres Bloom, he does audio and video production. Good to know. In good company. That's what I've done for a very, very long time as a freelancer. So that's good to know. Good work. Good stuff. Soren Dave says carpet walker is someone who lives in a house. I knew it was a van life slur. Disgraceful. That's disgraceful. We've all been there. We've all done it. We weren't born in a van. We can't get on our high horse about carpet walkers. Oh man, that's hilarious. The first time I heard the term sticks and bricks, I think, is in the context of van life. I don't know whether that's an American thing or whether it's a van life thing, but I definitely have not heard it in the UK. That's for sure. Green Acres Bloom. My grandparents lived in Texas. When we visited, it was often insanely hot. I mostly just waited for the week to end. It's tiring. The heat drains me. It really drains me. It slows my brain down. That's my excuse, at least. Yeah, it's it definitely slows my brain down, unfortunately. Especially being British, like my body is just not made for any kind of heat, really. When it rains, I'm pretty much good. Soren Dave says Brad coined that term. It's stuck with me. The carpet walker. That is hilarious. I love that. Okay, I'm gonna go for like maybe 10 more minutes. So you guys have any burning questions or van life slurs that you wanna say? Drop them in the chat. Yeah, I'm gonna go till I'll go for another 10-15 minutes, I think. Jonathan Romes, I've heard sticks and bricks from a lot of full-time RVers. Yeah, maybe it is, because I can't imagine normies saying sticks and bricks. I don't know. Wombat says your Britishness means that anything above 18 Celsius is like the surface of the sun. Exactly. Is it weird that I've been living in the UK I've been living in the US for so long that, like right now, outside it is actually, wow, it's cool outside. It's 82 Fahrenheit with 71% humidity. Love that. Inside it is 76. It is actually, you know what? It is a little bit warm in here. So let's get on that. Let's get that down a bit. It's a little bit warm. Jonathan Romes, here is a good question, because I haven't followed all of your build until recently. Do you feel you're more free being able to roam? Yes. Yeah, I do. I have no regrets. Basically, one of the inciting incidents for me was that the apartment renewal came up, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know whether I can do another year here. It wasn't bad, but I was just like, another 12 months? Do I really want to commit to another 12 months? And then I literally was like, I made my decision in such a short amount of time. I made a joke to someone when it was coming to the renewal idea. I made a joke to someone because I'd watched someone build a schoolie, and I sent in that video and I was like, hey, maybe I should just buy a school bus and build that out. Within within a month, I'd already made the decision. A couple of weeks after that was when I actually told people that I'd made that decision, and then had to have another few weeks of like talking people down, because like maybe other people haven't experienced this, but when you tell people that you're moving into a vehicle, no matter how many van life videos they've seen, for you, for some reason, it is totally different, and it's a bad idea. So yeah, I literally, my renewal was coming up, and then I was just made the decision, committed to it. Now, and it was a rough few months because it was a massive adjustment, and I had no experience, and I documented all of it, Jonathan. So if you're catching up on videos, you got some fun videos to watch there. So it felt like a bad idea for a bit, but I stuck with it, and now I'm very, very happy. So much so, I don't think it's going to be forever at all. But the sense of freedom that I have, just in my life in general, I've worked really hard over the past year or so to try to gain that, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. If I had to move back into an apartment or buy a house, whatever it is, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But it's really shifted my view on how important autonomy is, especially in like location, but for a lot of other stuff as well. So that's kind of what I was talking about earlier on, is that like my idea of like autonomy and freedom, all the American sort of fun stuff, it's shifted my view on what that means, and having the freedom to travel, even though I haven't yet, definitely excites me, for sure. And yeah, at the very least, it means that if I hate my neighbors, I can just move away from them. That's really nice to know. I hope that answers your question. Let me know if it doesn't. I am. We appreciate you. Thanks for teaching us the thing or two about builds and box truck life. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am. I assume that you're learning, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm teaching. If that makes sense. I'm not an expert. I'm learning. I'm very much learning, and hope to continue to learn in this instance. This whole channel is about learning. This whole channel is about getting out of my comfort zone. Even doing like lives, like I get nervous going on a live, and that tells me that I need to do it more, because I'm uncomfortable with it. So that's why I do it. Same with a lot of my videos, is I'm just like, okay, what is uncomfortable? There's a couple of videos coming up that are not van build videos. They're not even van life videos. They're not even really me talking videos. But there's a couple of videos coming up that I'm like, I don't know whether this is something to put on the channel. And then I'm like, if I feel uncomfortable with it, that means that I have to do it. So I'm going to put it up on the channel. So this channel is about discomfort and learning. And if you guys are also learning, but without that discomfort, that makes me happy. That very much makes me happy. Jonathan Romes, and the reason I asked that is because you're centrally located in Houston, but at some point I can see you wanting to move about. Yeah, for sure. You know, Houston's there's a lot of good about Houston. I like jokingly moan about it. Houston has some awesome parts, has some awesome restaurants, really fun like places. I mean, Texas in general is pretty random to me as a Brit as well. So I do like Houston, but yeah, I would like to see more. I would like to experience more of the States. I'd like to experience more of the States, discover interesting places, see some beautiful places. I also want to see some not so beautiful places. I kind of, and I spoke about this before, I kind of want to do some like some truck stop diners. I kind of want to see some rough areas, something interesting. I want to experience a bit more. So I don't want it to, I don't, as much as I appreciate like van life channels that are, you know, go to pretty parks and stuff, I'd like to do that, but I would also like to see the other side. Who was it? Someone I follow went to like some, man, who was it? I can't remember now. But went to like a sort of abandoned kind of town that was just like run down and trashed and filled with like graffiti and but like artwork and all this sort of stuff. Like that to me is just as interesting as like, you know, going to like a really pretty Colorado or somewhere, you know, forest in California. I want to see both sides, I think. Okay, I'm gonna start wrapping up a little bit. Jonathan Rose, do you have a timeline in mind when you'll be done with the build and move about the States? No, absolutely zero. My life is dictated by my business right now. It's pretty heavy, and I'm letting that lead the way. So I don't have a timeline. With the build, also no timeline. It's in a state right now where I can exist in it without feeling terrible. Over the next month, I'll be getting a bunch of stuff patched up. So by the end of the year, I think probably it will be in a state that you would say, that you would look at it and go, this isn't a shithole. By the end of the year, for sure. You know, paint and stuff like that. Some actual flooring. But the business dictates whether that will happen or not, really. Green Acres Bloom, the box truck is fantastic, though you have more parking options. Yeah, box trucks. Oh, compared to a schoolie? Yeah, I'm glad that I didn't get a schoolie. I do get jealous of when I see people's builds. If I was like to be like semi-permanent somewhere, a schoolie would be perfect. But like not in Houston. My God, I'm so glad I went with a box truck. It's like, for me, it's the perfect medium of like middle ground of like stealth enough if you want it to be, but also big enough for it to actually feel like an apartment. Like to me, it still feels like home, even though it's plywood. It actually feels like home, and a lot of that is due to the size for me. Super Dave, Let me know where the truck stop diners are at. Yeah, I want to. Well, maybe there's not actually some good truck stop diners, and they're just Loves or Bucky's. Actually, Bucky's is good. Diners on the East Coast are amazing. Interesting. Not truck stop diners; those are gone for the most part. Corporate world took. Oh yeah, there you go. I guess that answers that question. Damn it. Glenn Morrison, there is nothing good about Houston. I grew up there, left 20 years ago, and I will never return. There is good in Houston. You just gotta look for it. It's only gotten worse since you left. I went to Memorial class of '08 and stayed until 2024. Got reactions. I agree. The schoolie builds are cool, but I know it'd be harder for me and the windows with the heat and then stealth. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that's schoolies are kind of like the dream van life vehicle of, like, if you had no money. No, that shows how tired my brain is. If you have a lot of money and you maybe are like, you don't have to work as much, or you're like fully remote and earning a bunch, and you can just sort of stay in a pretty spot in Arizona. You can run your AC 24/7 and all that sort of stuff. A schoolie, I think, is a good build for like staying put somewhere. It's kind of the dream vehicle in that respect. But from what I know about like maintenance and stuff, like difficult to maintain, expensive, usually not in a great condition when you get them. In general, from my understanding, I have probably the least amount of experience on the internet when it comes to this, but that's just my understanding. But yeah, size-wise, holy shit, they're awesome. And when excuse me, when I see schoolie builds, I'm like, man, they look so good. But I just couldn't. In fact, the schoolie build that inspired me, the very first build that I'd seen a lot of van life stuff just randomly appear, but it's this one schoolie build built by 2 engineers. It's I think it was on the tiny house big whatever channel, made by 2 engineers. Holy shit, that schoolie was just perfect. It was perfect, and they'd spent 100, I think it was like 100 grand on it or something like that. That was the video that I sent to someone where I was like, maybe I should get a school bus. That, like, I mean, it's perfect, but it was built by engineers and they have a lot of money to do it. But yeah, wow, some builds are just awesome. Soren Dave says, I'm a hater, but I still truly love Houston. I mean, everywhere has pros and cons. Everywhere does. Every single place. We just gotta tolerate those cons. Listen, guys, it has been almost 2 hours, and I think I'm gonna wrap up because my throat is hoarse, and I'm getting I'm slurring my words because it's been such a long day, and it's actually still hot in here. I really need to turn this down more. But thank you for a fun night. Thank you for joining me. I like hanging out on Saturdays. I'm definitely gonna make sure I don't skip my Saturdays, or try my best not to skip Saturdays, because I did miss doing it last week, so I'll be better with that. But yeah, thank you as always for hanging out. It's been awesome. You guys are just so chill and so nice, and there is no one that I would rather spend my Saturday night with than you guys. So thank you for making it fun, and yeah, some more fun videos on the way for sure. Some kind of nerdy videos as well. Yeah, thanks, and thank you for the donations as well, the super chats. That's, you know, like I said, it's never feel obligated. but it's always appreciated, and it will go towards making this truck more ridiculous and fun. That's what it goes towards. Right, guys, thank you as always, and I will see you very, very soon. For now,